ukulele players. Today we are going to talk about Bruno. In fact, we're going to talk about how to play the ukulele to one of our favorite songs. We don't talk about Bruno. This is from the Disney movie Encanto. The movie is full of great songs by Lin-Manuel Miranda. And I think We Don't Talk About Bruno is the one that will probably stick with us, that we'll be still talking about and playing years from now. This is a low G ukulele, which is especially nice for this song, but you can play this on a normally tuned high G ukulele as well. I am capoed at the 3rd fret, and that will put us in the key of A minor. And the chords are pretty straightforward on this song. Let me walk you through what they are. We'll have A minor and D minor. You're probably familiar with both of those. And we also have F, and we have E7, which we'll be playing quite a bit. There's an F minor. Okay, there's also a spot where we're going to play an E chord here at the 4th fret on barred. I'm not playing all the strings though. I'm just playing the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings. And I'm going to add my middle finger, and that will give me an E suspended 4 at one point. I've reset my camera so you can see things clearly for our run through of We Don't Talk About Bruno. And the introduction is the first 4 measures, and it starts with a couple of pickup notes. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so my pickup notes are 2nd fret on the 3rd string and open 2nd string. And then I'm playing F, rest, up, down, still on F, and then I jump up to a partial E chord. I'm playing the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings, and I'm grabbing that with my thumb and my fingers, adding my middle finger to make it a suspended chord, E suspended, then back to E, and then I play those notes individually. And then F, F, rest, up, down, E7, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. All together, 1, 2, 3, F, F. Moving on, we'll play the verses, and this starts with A minor, D minor, E7, and then back to D minor. That's kind of the repeating pattern. I'm going to divide explaining the verse into 2 parts. So here's the first part. There's a 2-measure idea that repeats, and it sounds like this. Starts with A minor. So that's A minor, and then I drop my fingers into D minor, and then E7, and I'm kind of grabbing the strings. You could strum it, but I'm just grabbing all 4, and then back to D minor, and then 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string still in the D minor. And you do this 3 times. Here's F, that's E7, and there's a pause. And so to create a rest, I put my fingers against the strings to cut them off. So that's the first half of the verses. The second half is the same chords, but a little bit different picking. And so it starts like this. F again. So let's break that down. A minor, just pluck in 3 individual strings, 4, 3, 2, and then D minor. So I pluck the chord, strings 4, 3, 2, and then also just played the second string by itself. And then I'm heading for an E7, but I'm plucking the second string open, and then grabbing that E7, and then that second string open again, back to D minor, and then an open second string. So that sounds like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Okay, second time around, it's almost the same except for the end of it. A minor, D minor, E7. Now check this out. So it's basically a D minor 7, but I start out, I'm going to end up with a chord that looks like G7, but I start out with my little finger on the 3rd fret on the 1st string, so it sounds like, and then A minor, this is the same as the first two, E7, D minor, and then we're on the F chord, down, up, down, up, down, E7, 2, 3. So what I did here, I played the E7 and a rest, 2, 3, and then I'm just plucking the first 2 strings of the E7 chord, and then 3rd string, and back to the first 2. So it's F, E7, 2, 3, F, E7, and this time I hit the 4th string and then the 2nd and 3rd strings together. Okay, and in the verse, all of it repeats, but if you listen closely, you'll hear in measure 4, there's a stop where they, a little pause because of what the vocalist does, and you just have a rest there. You'll hear it in the recording that's at the beginning of this video. Let's move on, and I'm going to call this part B. You had the introduction, and then we had the verses, and this part B sounds like this: A minor, D minor, wait, E7, A minor, wait. Okay, so how do we do that? We go 1 and 2 and, so I make a rest there, 3 and 4 and, so that was D minor, and then 1 and 2 and E7, and I strum up to get that E7, so A minor, D minor, 1 and 2, E7, and I let it ring, and again, A minor, D minor, E7's coming up, A minor again, D minor, E7, and then F, E7, and we're crescendoing here, going into the staccato part. So this is a vocal part where everything kind of comes down, but there's these short plucked notes, and you'll hear like this. Okay, it's a little complicated, but so the first 3 notes are from a C chord. So it's 3rd string, 2nd string, and 3rd fret on the 2nd string. Then notes from a G chord, looks like this: 3 on the 2nd string, 2 and 5 on the 1st string, and then 3, 2, 5. Okay, and then the next notes are from an A minor chord, 0, 3, 7. And finally, notes from an F chord. And this is a little trickier. I'm going to bar my middle finger. This is the 5th fret above the capo. So that's the 3rd string and the 2nd string. And then 1st string, 3rd fret. That's the 8th fret. 7, 5, 3, 5. Moving on to our next part. It's just some happy strumming, and just try to make it as smooth and consistent as you can. C, G, A minor, then F. So it sounds like this. These are 8th notes. And we do it again. Okay, then things start to get a little more tense. In our next section, we're going to be just going F to E7, and we do this 4 times. It's a bit syncopated, so we go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so each of those was 1 and 2 for the F chord, and then E7 and 3 and 4 and okay, then we come to that F minor chord I mentioned earlier, and it's 2 measures, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then when we get to the last section of the song, it's again like the verse, A minor, D minor, E7, back to D minor. Here's what it sounds like. So we do this 3 times, and what I'm doing is I strum down twice on A minor, and then I'm adding my 3rd finger on my way to the D minor chord, and I hit that note on the 3rd string as a kind of a leading note to the chord, and then I'm into D minor, and then E7, and I'm on the offbeat, so I'm strumming up, up, and then back to D minor, up, down, up, down, up. So A minor, D minor, E7, D minor. And we do that 3 times, then we have F, 2, 3, which is just like what we did before. And then that section repeats, and the final time we have F, E7, 2, 3, and then A minor is our final chord. We Don't Talk About Bruno is a great example of Latin music, and I think Lin-Manuel Miranda, with a Puerto Rican heritage, really resonated with this music. I certainly do, even though I have a Midwestern heritage, and hope you enjoyed playing We Don't Talk About Bruno.